Whenever you're ready.
Good evening, I'm Kaylee.
I'm Candace.
I'm Dan.
I'm Michael.
And we are the Garrison Hughes team for Pitch 2019. Our client this year was the Mattress Factory, and this is what we did with the presented challenge. So initially the mindset of the Mattress Factory, of their patrons, was this is just a museum. However, this year they challenged us to expand their brand and let people know that they are more than just a museum. They want people to go to the museum for a bite to eat, or go to the museum just to grab a present for their sister's birthday. To do this, we decided that we must establish the Mattress Factory shop and cafe as separate entities. We must target different demographics in the shop. Initially, it was about 20 to 40-year-olds, but now we're expanding that to 35 to 60-year-olds. Expand the demographics of the cafe, which used to be pretty much just museum patrons, and now we're looking to expand that to all the residents of the north side. And finally, we had to do this all while still accompanying everything within the Mattress Factory brand, as they are separate entities, but they're still under the Mattress Factory. So we came up with the idea of eat, drink, and shop artisan. We like to use the idea of artisan because it is an art museum, and again, tying everything back in while still keeping them separate entities with eat and drink artisan and then shop artisan. So again, we created each cafe, shop, and museum as a separate entity with new logos to again promote that they are all under the Mattress Factory but are still separate entities, that one can just go grab a bite to eat there, or they can go shop there. They don't necessarily have to pay admission to the museum.
So with those objectives being said, we went on to plan our executions. So we divided our executions in 3 different tactics. Each tactic had its own set of visuals, but the tactics were separated by what the visuals were trying to, and the message that they were trying to convey. So the first tactic, we wanted to convey the general awareness of the museum, but also the fact that it had the shop and the cafe. So we wanted to bring awareness to the fact that these areas existed. So with that, we created some visuals. So to the left, you can see a visual that can be easily manipulated into a print ad or even digital. The ad is separated into 3 different photos of the cafe, the shop, and the museum itself. So you can see that's like all one cohesive entity, but it has its own positioning for each organization within. And to the left, this is the current website. When we went into the website, it took us some time to find the cafe and shop section. So we we rebranded the website to look a little bit more like this one. So again, with the visual that Keely presented with the eat, drink, shop, artisan, tying it back to the art, but also the fact that the art is located in the museum, but also has a cafe and shop within. So again, separate but together. This would be tactic 1, promoting the general awareness that the cafes and shops exist within the museum.
So moving on to tactic 2, this is where we focus more on the differentiation between the cafe and the shop as separate entities from the museum itself. So in order to reinforce this idea, we are going to be using media such as reiterating the tagline of more than a museum in this style of ad that could be used in print or in social media, as well as Instagram posts, and then also more of just a print media. Then tactic 3 is going to be focused on call to action to get people to come to the cafe to grab a bite to eat, and then also to the shop to grab presents. So in order to establish a deep-rooted concept of what these locations are going to be about, we're going to establish the Mattress Factory shop and Mattress Factory cafe Instagram pages, which are clearly their own locations, but they're still under the brand of the Mattress Factory. In these Instagram accounts, we're going to be using posts to show how the products that we're selling are artisanal and unique and make a perfect present, as well as the food that is presented by Black Radish Kitchen in the cafe, which is artisanal and made from locally sourced ingredients.
Okay. Our budget was set at $3,000 for this project. So we decided to break it up over the course of 3 months, 90 days. We have recurring costs of newspaper print ads in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, 1/8 of a page. Then we have social media promotion. So we're going to be using various platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Yelp. We're going to be promoting our posts on those platforms. We have a one-time cost of email lists and physical mail lists as well. So altogether, that brings us to $2,893, which does leave us a little bit of extra money to put resources where the Mattress Factory specifically wants them, if they want to add it. And then we also have future opportunities with a program called Google Ad Grant, which is specifically for 501c3 nonprofits, which is what the Mattress Factory is. That gives us $10,000 a month, absolutely free, as long as we use it for print-only ads, which we can use to drive traffic to Mattress Factory brand websites. To measure success, the easiest way to do that is to look at sales before, during, and after the campaign, not just immediately after, but also for long after, to see if we can maintain that traffic. And we also want to look at how our digital presence was trafficked. Social media, see how our posts got interacted with, and then also see how our website got interacted with. We can use Google Analytics, Facebook Analytics. We can use multiple tools to track engagement with our digital presence. And then we will also plan on sending out a survey via email to our customers to see how they heard about our brand, where they went exactly, and why they went there.
And as a closing statement, we just want to say that with these objectives in mind, we still kept true to the brand. When we took a step back and thought about what Mattress Factory really stood for, we did a little research and found out that they really stood for local emerging artists. So we think that our tagline, Eat Artisan, Drink Artisan, Shop Artisan, really hones in on this, artist objective of how all this art, these foods, even the arts in the gift shop, they really came from an artist that was really true to their passion. We also took a step back and realized that the Mattress Factory has really kind of cultivated and rejuvenated the neighborhood around that area. So we hope that with this campaign, the cafe and the shop helps that rejuvenation as well, and kind of piggybacks onto the museum and how it's really cultivated a art-friendly neighborhood. So at this time, we'll take any questions from the Garrison Hughes team.
If you were to prioritize the 3 different tactics that you presented, what do you think would be the most important to focus on?
I can begin with the answering. I think the first one, the most important one, would be the general awareness. I think just having that being aware that the shop and cafe exists, I think as more and more people utilize that cafe and shop and what it stands for, I think people will kind of put those into consideration sets next time they're eating or next time they're shopping. If anyone else has anything to say.
Yeah, I mean, to add to that point, even beyond the first step, in terms of the long-term goals and objectives of our campaign, there is really no one single tactic that will work best, because they will all work, build off of each other, and then in the long term, the goal is to have these 2 entities as serving as their own kind of destinations that are still under the Mattress Factory umbrella, but over time, it's not just going to be one tactic that works. It's going to be the first one, the second one, the third one, and ultimately to achieve that objective.
Any other questions?
So I love the idea of creating separate social properties for each section of the museum. What kind of content would you kind of recommend to roll out the cafe and the shop?
In the cafe, they were going to do a hashtag where they'd post a pretty picture of the food daily, whatever their special is of the day, and they'd post that with the hashtag Artisan Mattress Factory. So they'd have that going out daily. And then the Mattress Factory also does artist highlights every month in their shop. So another aspect of the social media campaign on the shop page would be to meet the artist every month. They would be highlighted on the page. And also, if they wanted to go further with that, they could take the artists that are constantly selling their products in the shop and also highlight them, just to kind of boost that idea of local artisan, can't get this anywhere else kind of feel.
I thought the idea of paid social makes a lot of sense for this campaign. What kinds of audiences would you target for each of the individual platforms?
So we have different target demographics for the two, both the shop and the cafe. For the shop, we really wanted to target older families, like in the 40 to 70 age range, specifically living in the north side. So that's going to be our main target audience, target market, because they have the disposable income where they can come in and they can buy these unique, one-of-a-kind gifts and presents for friends and family in this area.
So to piggyback off of that, we realize that those demographics probably are going to be more akin to seeing print ads, and especially also in the social media aspect more maybe like Facebook or Pinterest, especially for moms. So that's what we presented some print ads as well, but also we did a mock-up. It's going to be in a report of what a Pinterest ad would look like or what a Facebook ad would look like, so that parents can tag each other in it and things like that and raise awareness.
That's great. That makes a lot of sense.
And then the demographics for the cafe were singles in their 20s and 30s. Yeah, singles in their 20s and 30s who want to come to Mattress Factory, not necessarily because it's a museum, but they want to go there to eat or to grab a cup of coffee just for that. We want to make this independent of the museum. That's why people want to go there.
Sure.
So with that, we would do heavy digital, maybe even incorporate some influencers in there as well to target that demographic.
Great.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you so
Thank you.
much.